Welcome back for part 2 of the January 7th Trips and Traps. Andy Serling, Eric Donovan.
A few more races to show you, and a couple of races with the first-time starters. There'll be second-time starters next out, similar to the kind of race that we showed with Nicky Joe before. And one of those horses is the number 4 Shikha Luon on January 3rd, race number 4. This was a first-time starter from the Daniel Conway barn. This horse took a ton of money, went off 7-2 in the race. Doesn't break too badly, but doesn't break, 100% sharply here.
Right, breaks a stutter step break, and then sort of same thing. Breaks about 3/4 of a length to a length slow, but finds itself as the race develops about 4 lengths slow. And the rider rushes the horse Shikha Luon up in this race. You'll see from here as the race develops. And the winner, of course, Professional Women, a Trips and Traps horse from a while back who burned some money in a couple starts, sits a very good trip.
Yeah, we do have to mention there was a loose horse. Jackie Davis was thrown at the start after being bumped there. That was the number 7 of Moose. But we're taking a look here at Shikha Luon, just making that advance 3 wide there. Just spotting experience to horses like this, having to make up the ground and then being forced a little bit wide, as you'll see here. Just not an easy thing for a first-time starter to do. This horse really ran well here.
Yeah, he really did, and I'm not sure why the horse didn't sort of take a more inside route and might have won the race, and all things considered, Shikha Luon absolutely ran the best race. Now, here's my problem with Shikha Luon going forward. Finishes second here, everybody saw the trouble, bet first time out. This horse will be a very short price next time, will probably win. My problem is, this horse was cranked up to win its first start. And this horse got bet from the start, drifted up, got bet again. They were trying to get this first timer to win. You try to get a first timer to win, you don't get the money, you come back at a short price the next time. It's just a recipe for disaster at the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see where you're coming from. I don't think this necessarily visually looks like that tough or demanding an effort on Shikha Luon here. I guess we'll see how much time it takes to wheel the horse back, but I guess you do have to be concerned about that. The thing you really have to be concerned about is the short price that looms on Shikha Luon.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about a short price. Right. If Shikha Luon was coming back, it was 6-8 to 1, I'd take my chances. But you're talking about a horse going to be 6 or 8 to 5 in here. And there's no question to me that Shikha Luon is the best horse that ran in this race. To me, that's not even a question. But coming back next time, I think the horse, you might want to go back the time before that. They just had the horse so cranked up to win this race, and they were right. They should have gotten the money, but unfortunately, circumstance prevented them from winning.
Move on to our second race of the segment here. This was January 4th, race number 4, a race for a starter handicap for older horses. Unbridled Danger, the 7, and Western Deed, the 2 horses we're looking at here.
I thought this was an interesting race dynamics race again, and race how the race is run. And the 2 horses I wanted to look at were Western Deed, the 8, who finishes 3rd, and you see him in the blue. And just to his inside, and we got a few of them boxed up here, in the red silks is Unbridled Danger. Now, I thought Unbridled Danger actually ran extremely well here. Unbridled Danger was right on the pace, and you'll see him fighting for position between horses 3 wide, in very tight there. Rosie Dubrovnik's actually riding this horse, and he's a speed horse. There's a ton of speed in here. This horse has maybe the toughest trips of the speeds and absolutely runs the best race of the speeds.
Yeah, gets speed 8 lengths at the finish here, but Unbridled Danger to me is the kind of horse that, we know he's very temperamental just from his habits of the gate, but also he's the kind of horse that seems to need the lead to win, and he's not getting the lead here, but he's also not chucking it. He could finish last in here off this trip, but he doesn't. He fights on well and beats about half the field here.
Yeah, no question. I think that, he did get beat a package, but if he gets in a race where there's not a ton of speed, he's going to be very dangerous going down the road. He's in good form here, and of course, there's King Mobay in green, who's sitting 3rd in the inside, who finished 2nd, gets the absolute garden trip, and the winner, Stealth Missile, gets a very good trip also. Another situation where the rider was saving ground pretty much. Behind him is the 8, Western Deed, who finishes 3rd. Now, Western Deed wasn't winning this race, but what I noticed about him was here he is sort of 3 wide between horses. The horse Big Emmy in the light blue silks is on the outside of him. He's always covering him up during the running of the race, and Western Deed is never able to get a free, unencumbered trip. And I think you see right here, he's sort of between horses, getting shuffled, losing position, and of course the eventual winner, Stealth Missile, getting a nice trip between horses and good ride.
Yeah, it makes a big difference here, and you see when they'll turn for home, the amount of ground loss that Western Deed's going to have here, but coming out in about the 4 or 5 path, turning for home, and Stealth Missile meanwhile saves the ground, switches out here in the stretch. I think you're right here, Andy. Western Deed wasn't going to win the race anyway, but certainly a trip that this horse had that might have been able to get this horse a little bit closer, maybe make a bid for the place spot here if he didn't have to get shuffled back on the turn line.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's similar to the second race we showed on the first segment, where horses towards the inside did so well and the horse to the outside didn't do as well. And I think that Unbridled Danger once again really did run well, all things things considered, the dynamics of the race, and I would elevate him more than anybody else in this race the next time he runs. Next time he runs, if you say he hadn't been involved in the pace, if he has a better pace situation, you could move him up 4 or 5 lengths from this race, I think, and make him competitive, perhaps.
The last race we'll take a look at is the 6th race from January 4th, another first-time starter that had a little bit of a trip in here, the 10, Just Dixie, who doesn't break all that well. We're going to show it from the start here, and you see Just Dixie on the outside, the 10 horse in the pinkish silks, breaking last of the field here, and Just Dixie got bad in this race, went off 6-1 for trainer Bruce Brown. He's going to make this big move on the backstretch here.
I don't think there's any horse that we're showing on both episodes, total of 6 races, that I feel more confident will make money with down the road than Just Dixie. Not only does he have that somewhat slow break from the outside, but makes almost an entire race, sustained long run, rushing up wide, getting into contention. You know, the winner of the race, the horse that's on the lead right now does finish second, but boy, I think that Just Dixie, if they ran this race again, I would bet a lot of money on him.
Absolutely. The winner of the race is a Sharp Strike, a horse that hadn't showed too much form first time out. I think was dropping for maiden 50 and for 25,000, and is running in the 4 spot now, getting a very good trip in here. So you're absolutely right. I mean, Just Dixie doesn't break bad. Just Dixie doesn't get forced to make that wide premature move. Just Dixie's winning this race by a few lengths here and still fighting on well at this point. The thing is with Just Dixie here, you get in the same kind of territory, I think, as you had with Shikha Luon, a horse that took some money. Do you worry second time out that this horse is going to be a little bit overbet?
Well, it depends. You know, do I worry? Yeah, a little bit. This horse, I don't know what overbet is for Just Dixie against this field because honestly, I'm not sure that 5-2 isn't the kind of price I could take. I don't really like to take shorter priced horses, and I don't think Just Dixie's going to be that short a price. You get a similar group together in here, Just Dixie will beat these horses.
I agree 100% there. Just got to worry about that price. I think I wouldn't want to take around even money on a horse like that just off the trip.
Yeah, price is always a factor, and that's what you have to determine. And yeah, you wonder how quickly the horse comes back, and you still have to handicap races.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you things here, and you watch races. And you don't want to ever marry yourself to horses just because you thought they had bad trips and you're betting them back. You still have to look at who they're running against. But a similar field, Just Dixie to me lost this race by just over 4 lengths. I'll have no problem with seeing him run 5 lengths better next time he runs.
All right, 6 races in the books for Trips and Traps this week. Andy, thanks for being as good as you are and doing the diligent work that you do on watching these replays. Once again, the email address here at tripsandtraps@NYRinc.com. We'd love to hear your comments.
Yes, we do love to hear the comments. Keep them coming. We'll try to work them in. And one thing, if you have a thought in a race, get it to us as quickly as possible, because if we come in on Wednesday morning and you've sent us one on Monday or Tuesday, we're not going to get it in the show. But if you send it earlier in the week, we will do our best to get it in, or at least send something back to you. We try to answer all the emails and let you know our thoughts.
That does it for us. We'll be back with more episodes next week. Good luck at the races, everyone.